Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I do apologise we haven't had many climbing videos up. The gyms have been super busy and we just haven't been able to get in and film, or they have really loud music and you can't film with loud music. So instead today I am going to do a little shoe review for you / explanation. Now, disclaimer, it's going to be on Scarpa shoes. I am sponsored by Scarpa, but I'm not paid to do this. They don't pay me, I just get shoes. But it's actually my honest opinion. For me, Scarpa shoes are the best. Before I was sponsored by Scarpa, I was wearing Scarpa X-Force. They were my very first pair of shoes, and I continued to buy Scarpas until I was sponsored by them. So I would be wearing these shoes anyway, and if I get so many requests to my DMs or my comments asking which shoe to go for their first shoe or for their second pair, third pair of shoe, just looking to upgrade, and my answer is always going to be Scarpa. So that being said, if you are new to bouldering, none of these shoes are going to be applicable to you guys. I am talking about the top end shoes for people, for intermediate climbers. So if you're bouldering, if you're just starting and you're bouldering, say like V0 through to V3, you just need a comfortable shoe and you don't need to spend that much money. Go find something which is like $100 and just comfortable, just to get you into the sport. Comfort is going to be the best thing, because you don't want to be deterred from climbing. You don't want to go home with your feet aching, and you're not going to be on tiny edges just yet. So honestly, just find the most comfortable thing that you can, something which fits your foot well and invites you into climbing. Now, when you start progressing and you're moving on to V4s, steep stuff, small edges, slabs, those shoes are not going to do it for you anymore. You are going to need to upgrade. You're going to need something specific to what style of climbing you're doing, and then it's time to, I think, invest a little bit of money. And I think it's a really nice reward for yourself, say if you start breaking into the V4s, to go, okay, I'm getting really good, I can treat myself to some nice shoes. And then that's where people come to me and they say, which shoes should I get? So of course it's Scarpa. But which ones? There are so many, it can get so confusing. I'm going to break it down to 3 ones, forget about all the rest. 3 shoes which are the best on the market right now. And why? For number 1 is the number 1 shoe as well, I would say. The Drago. Beautiful shoes. Why do I think this is the best shoe? And this is my answer when someone asks me what shoes to get, is always the Drago. If they're like, oh, I'm bouldering and lead climbing and a little bit of outside, Drago. So these are an all-round shoe. They're extremely aggressive, so they're downturned and they have a nice pointy toe. Basically, because they're so downturned, they're really going to help you on overhangs to get power through the toe. So steep climbing is really going to be advantageous for you, but also the rubber is stiff enough so that you can stand on all edges and get a little bit of power through the toes, but it's not so stiff that you can also comfortably use it on slabs and volume climbing. So it does get a little bit softer over the life of the shoe, and a softer shoe is what we really need now these days for competition style climbing, because they're all volume based or very large holds, slabs, and for that you need as much essentially surface area as you can get on the volume. So for that you need something which is soft that you can manipulate and get that rubber on the volume. And the good thing about the Drago is you can do that with the sole, but it's also got that slight downturn, which means you can still stand, and that keeps its shape. You can still stand on small edges and you won't slip. So if you have a really soft shoe and you try to stand on, you know, a pin hold, you'll find that it won't get any purchase on that ledge. But this is good enough to do that. So it does both. It's really good for volumes, all-round climbing, steep climbing, lead climbing, that'll be my go-to, and also outside, yes, but just beware, these do wear very fast, so I wouldn't wear them so much outside, probably only if I was going for like a sunburn. What's really good about these, if you have a narrow foot, the heel is so narrow and cozy, and it's quite narrow through the body, not as narrow as I would like it to be because I have a really narrow foot, but most people find that this fits them really well. It's the Vibram rubber, which is super sticky. This will set you back about 240 Australian dollars, unfortunately, but these will last a little bit longer than the next ones, which I'm going to talk about. So just in summary for the Drago, that is, I think the all-rounder. It does pretty much everything. I've not found anything where I've been annoyed at it. Next, it looks very similar to the Drago, but it's not the Drago. It's the Furia S. So this is an upgrade to the old Furia, which is a green and black one, which I still have and still wear, and Nathan Phillips still climbs in and crushes in, just won the British Bouldering Champions in, and he seems to stand on holds that no one else can and slabs that no one else can, so it's testament to how good they are. But these are upgraded, and the points that they've upgraded, really, they've kept all the same aggression and downturn, and it's the asymmetric heel, which is more in line with the contours of the foot. So they're all pretty much the same as the Dragos, but they're a little bit softer than the green and black one, and also they've upgraded, so they've got this strap which goes all around, so it holds your midfoot in much better, so much better for slim feet. The rubber around the toe is really good. It's really good for toe hooking, so there's a lot more rubber on this than you would get on quite a few other shoes, but still it's really soft rubber, so it's not a heavy shoe. It's super light. I don't have to break these in. I could put these in straight away and wear them, and they're comfortable. They're really molded to my foot. These are my go-to volume climbing shoe. I tend to not wear them on slabs or anything overhanging where I need to stand on chips, but if I'm doing volumes, or it's a slab which is volume based and some small holds, they'd be the ones that I would go for. I feel like I can't slip off volumes, and that's just because they're that soft that you can manipulate all of your foot onto them, those points I said before. But they are also aggressive enough that steep stuff, they really do work too. The only thing I would say that is, for steep stuff, the firmer your boot is going to be, the more power you can get off your feet. So that's why a lot of people don't want to wear soft shoes on an overhang, but I still find it works. It's just you're not going to get as much bite off those holds. On the World Cup circuit right now, I would say more than half of professional climbers are in the Dragos, and I would say they all, if they're Scarpa sponsored, they would also have a Furia S, and they take that out with them, and if they saw any of those volume based routes, they would bring that out. But I wouldn't go and invest in the Furia S unless you're in a gym where you're doing lots of competition style boulders, or you are a competitor. If you're competing, these are going to be amazing to add to whatever shoes you have, because you will find some boulders are just impossible without them. So I would definitely say they're worthwhile if you are competing. So the last one to talk about is the VSR, which replaces the VS. So here is the VSR. The VS was the orange version, which Tom wears. They're disgusting, ew. So that's Tom's, that's a new shoe. Maybe I've turned into a soft shoe lover, but they're a little bit too stiff for me now. But the VSR has fixed all of that. It's a little bit softer. It's not as aggressive around the foot, but it's a stiff toe and an aggressive downturned toe. So this little bit of downturn here, is what's when you curl over those small chips and those overhangs, and you can push with a lot of power through your toe. Basically, you're gonna have more power through moves, but then it's not as aggressive through the arch here, and that's good because it's so stiff that if it was, it's gonna be very uncomfortable. The same rubber again, very sticky, and these take a little bit longer to break in. The toe's also very stiff, so toe hooks are definitely going to be very secure in this. But I find it a bit easier to feel my toes with a softer shoe, so if I'm toe hooking I can actually flex my toes in a softer shoe, whereas this one I can't, but it's still going to be very sticky under those holds. What I would say these are for, and what I've got them for, is route climbing. Outside particularly, the longevity of these are going to be much better, last much longer outside. And for routes where you're not really going to be standing on volumes, and you'll be doing overhanging, you'll be doing vertical walls where you need to stand on chips, these are definitely going to be your best bet. Volumes, I'd prefer to go for the Fury S. I haven't actually tested out these ones on pure volume based climbing, because I tend to just, as soon as I see that, I take them off and put my Fury S. So I guess I can't really comment if they perform, but they do fix the issues with the VS. With the VS were far too stiff to stand on volumes or any of those large holds. You know, you've got all the dual text ones coming out and they're kind of so stiff that they're really just going to slip straight off, and you can only press down through the front of the toe. The VSR is meant to fix that issue by being a little bit softer, but it's definitely not as soft as your Fury S or your Drago. So it definitely has its place in that these are going to last probably 3 times the life of your other ones, and they're going to be really good outside and for all-round climbing. I will still be going for my soft shoes. These are definitely not as comfortable and take a little bit longer to break in. So the next video hopefully will be some climbing, and yeah, see you in the next one, guys.